Good evening, everybody. How's everybody today? It's a wet, miserable, windy, cold evening here in Donegal. If there wasn't leaves on the trees, I swear we were in November. So who we got in the chat? Let's have a look through. First off, we have Leslie Gilpin Railways. Hi, Leslie. How you doing? Tom Houston Motorwell. Good evening, Tom. Flymo Chairman's in the house. Good evening, Flymo. Clive, how you doing? You sent me an email there just before I came live. It just came in, but it was blank. Are you sending another one on? We got Maura Kern. Good evening, Maura. How are you doing? Peter Jackson. Sheila Heath. Good evening, Peter. Wolf Scenics PW. Good evening, sir. Brian Madden. It says damp in Donegal. Yes, it certainly is damp tonight, Brian. It's actually stopped raining in Antrim, is it? Oh. Jerry BVR. Good evening, Jerry. How are you doing? The rain that's here at the moment we see presently. Yes, it's probably heading that way. Clive, Newland Railway. Good evening, Clive. How are you doing? Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. Good evening, Simon. How are you doing? Let the puns begin. New Model Railway. Good evening. Oh, Joshua W56 is in. Hi, Joshua. How are you doing? I'm doing fine, Flymo. Bit cold. I've had to put the heating on the past couple of evenings, even lit a fire one evening. It was that chilly here. Hermitage Road, good evening. How are you doing? Graham, Lemington Station, has been ripping his baseboards apart today. Yeah, he just WhatsApped me a picture of what he's done. He's ripped everything up again. He's starting on a brand new plan. Chris Valley 56, good evening. RGJ Trains, evening all from the Lonely Shed. Grace and Rob, how you doing, guys? Is it one or both of you? Anyway, tonight, I thought I would do some track laying here. So we've only got trains going around on the 6x4. It's the same old A class and the 181 class going around there. So I've got 3 cameras on that layout this week. And I've got this one here. So you can see what I'm doing track-wise. Let me just pick up the camera and show you what I've done. So track finished about here. So over the weekend, I was able to lay some track here. And then I started putting down these double slips are in. These points are in. They're not wired. The wires are just dangling down. Another reason there's no trains running because it would just catch underneath at the moment. So once I get all the track down on here and the points in, then I'll take this board off, flip it over, do the wiring, and then put it back on again. So that's the plan. So you can see now we've got the 2 lines coming up here, going into double slip. So we've got 1 line going off that way into a point. So this will give me 2 lines going that way. The same on the other side, 2 lines going that way. And I'm just putting another point in here and here. So that means the trains can access all tracks. So I can get from one track to the other if need be. Let's check back on the, oh, Kieran's in. How you doing? J94. Good evening, sir. Oh, just Rob. Grace is down south. Oh, I did think I seen something on Facebook. She was heading down somewhere. The old Lonely Shed sounds like something from Dad's Army. Don't worry, it'll only be rain between the showers, yeah. Is that class 181, 133? No, it's 136. No, 186. Yeah, I'm sure it's 186. Or are you on about the 121 that's sitting in the siding there? That is 133. The one that's just sat in the siding, that's a 121. Hi, Nick. How's it going? I don't know if you're going to hear this because you're saying you're no audio, but I have your points to post to you. I haven't got around to doing them yet, mate. I will get them off to you as soon as I can. So, as you see, there is a warning scrolling across the bottom. Any of you that are using headphones, there will be some drilling and hammering and stuff. You should be able to see when I'm doing it. So, forewarned, guys. The Big Four. You listen to Good Kid. If not, can you play them? Not sure what you're on about there, Big Four. And anybody who's interested tonight, I am just drinking water. I'm trying to cut back on the Dr. Pepper. Okay, so I've got these points in, so I'm going to put in this bit of straight track. Get my insulating fish plates. That's coming off a double slip, which will be insulated. Good evening, Alan. How are you doing? Raymond Legs, good evening. If you got any questions, guys, just stick it in the chat there. I'll see if I can answer them, or someone else might be able to answer them for me. I'm probably going to have to trim some of this track so it fits. You guys can see what I'm doing. I do have some light on it, so I'm hoping it's coming through okay. Now, these insulated fish plates are always a little bit fiddly to get on. There we are. And I'm using my track setter. Now, this track at the moment is all isolated from the rest of the track, so I'm not going to cause any shorts or anything on it. It's all insulated. Otherwise, you would have your track power off when you're doing this, because you can cause all sorts of shorts and all sorts of badness. And I'm just pinning this down. You notice I'm not putting any cork underlay under this section. There will be under the rest of it, there will be some cork underlay, so I can have a bit of a ballast shoulder. But this is purely just going to be in the station, so you're not really going to see any shoulders. So hammering coming up. It's quite handy, this here, for putting pins in, because I tend to put them in sort of the length of the track setter there. And as this was already a piece of track that was already down on the old layout, it's already got the holes drilled in it. course, what I was going to do before I pinned this down is I was going to put some droppers underneath. But I've forgotten to do that, haven't I? Porcupine Pig, good evening. How are you doing? Ivo Van Zon, good evening. Just seen that name pop up there. And hi to anyone there who's lurking in the background or is in fact watching this on replay. And if you guys would all be so good to hit that like button for me, please. And subscribe if you're new here. So what I'll do is I'll actually just put droppers on the side and it'll just be hidden by ballast anyway. And so I want to put a couple of pins in. Now you'll notice that I'm not doing across the joints. I'm not doing the soldering with either the little panels or screws or anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm actually just gluing down the track. I tried it on a couple of other sections to see how it worked. And gluing the track down with the sleepers and a couple of pins, it just seemed to work as well and less hassle. So that's what I'm doing from now on. I may live to regret it, but time will tell. I don't think this layout is going to move that often. So it's not going to get damaged. And I'm going to make, when I move it, like they do in the making tracks, I'm going to put some ends on it, so when it's being moved, it will be protected. Yeah, that's why it's better to use screws than pins. I don't know, I think using screws would just annoy me, having to go and screw each one in. This, you can just hammer it in and the job's done. I mean, getting the pins out, I don't find there any problem. You just get a little screwdriver in, lever it out, and then pull it out, and it's done. And the other way, if you don't want to damage the track, you put something across it like that and go in and lever it out. I've just done that. I don't know if you guys actually seen what I was doing on the screen. Right, I need my little pin vise. Let me just move this over a little bit. So I'm just going to put a couple of pins in there. So it's either side of the joint. And the sleeper is actually, it's across the joint. That'll be sleeper will be cut away. And this is what I do with my track pins. I keep them on the end of a magnet here. It just keeps them all together. And as well, if you drop one, you use a magnet to pick it back up. I tend to use the Gauge Master pins because I find they're actually quite superior. The Hornby ones are quite short and stubby, and the pins that Pico do are very, very thin. Which might be all right if you're putting them into like Sundella board or something like that, but when you're trying to hammer them in, you just bend. So I use my punch. So I got this old bolt. It's got a little recess at the bottom just to tap them in. And it stops pushing it down too far so you don't pinch the track and affect the gauge of the rails. There we go. Oh, one more to do. Sorry, headphone users. Loco stopped? Which loco stopped? Was one hesitating over by the window? Oh, they still having that issue with the chat? I thought they resolved that. Is there a way to wire a DCC socket into an old non-D? Yeah, you can wire in the DCC socket, so you can plug the chip in, but you're not really saving yourself much time because you still have to wire in the new socket. So you might as well just hardwire the chip in. It's only if you want to be able to take the chip in and out easily. Yes, I've had all comments removed. Seems very slow updating the chat. Oh. Look, that's something that's beyond my control if it's YouTube playing up again. As I knew they had that issue a few weeks ago, but I hadn't seen it for a while, so obviously it's come back. All I can suggest is that you refresh your web page or your whatever you're using it on. People who's having problems with chat is that if they're using it on a browser, so if they're using it on Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari or something like that, or is it actually in the YouTube app? Keep getting an error for every comment. Yeah, I think it's something to do with the browsers causing the issue. Because there has been a lot of updates to Chrome recently and to the YouTube app, whatever they're fiddling with in the background, it seems to be affecting it. Yeah, Porcupine Pig, if you're on Chrome, you're probably all right because Chrome is Google and YouTube is Google, so they're probably designed to work better together. But I see Leslie says he's using Firefox, which is probably an issue. It'd be interesting to see, guys, what browsers you're using here, what's causing the issue. Because if it's not Chrome and you're using Firefox or Pale Moon or Safari or Internet Explorer or any of the other ones, see if that's causing the issue. Valerie Green, good evening, Valerie. How are you doing? Oh, Adam's on Chrome and it's dropping your comments. So yeah, it's got to be just a YouTube issue then, which I thought they resolved, but obviously not. All right, let's just change the bit in the drill. Right. Ready for some drilling, guys? So I'm just going to, so obviously this track I've put in here, there's droppers here, but of course it's going to be cut here. So I need to put some droppers behind it. So I'm going to put some droppers back here. Oop, move the camera again. So obviously there's a point here with droppers on it. that are going down. So I'll put droppers here as well so I can join them all together. So I'm just going to put a little hole beside the track in between one of the sleepers just beside the rail. So it's going to get noisy, guys. And the other side. I do have a video out tomorrow. It's just on track and track planning, part of the layout build I'm doing for the model shop. So again, vacuum is going to go, so it's going to be noisy again. Right, let's switch on. Right, soldering iron is on, warming up. Got a couple of lengths of wire. This, try and remember to keep moving the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So you have a bubble level. Do I? I do have a couple of bubble levels. I don't know where you can see it, which camera it's on. Although some of the shelves I've put up on the house, you would think I didn't have a bubble level. All right, so we've determined that it doesn't matter what browser you're on or whether you're in the app or not. It's just not working properly. All right, so I'm going to tin these wires. So I've just stripped a bit off the insulation off the end there. I've left the other ends because I'll do that when I'm doing the wiring. To the old paste. Now somewhere there going, oh, you know how to solder, you wouldn't need how to use flux. Flux just seems to make it easier. Oh, before I do that, where did I put my... And just tin the wire. And it doesn't matter where you stand, the fumes will go straight into your face. Now, normally what I would do when I'm soldering is I have a little fan going to stop that from happening. But then you would have wind noise. So I'm not doing too much soldering tonight. I was doing on a smart TV, then it's more like a dumb TV. Being sent for tea. Okay, Graham. President XD, Locomotive Shed. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Yes, just diesels on there, Joshua. I don't have any. Well, I don't have any proper Irish steam engines. Although, who was making a Ginty, an Irish Ginty? Who was doing that? And I was going to get one. Of course, I haven't pre-ordered it, so they're probably all gone by now. So, putting the wires in now, doing the old convention, black to the back. So, and if you don't know if you can see the writing on there, but each of the boards on top and underneath, I put a B and an F for front and back with arrows. So I've got an easy reference of which way is which, because, you know, if you've got a board flipped over, upside down, you can easily make a mistake of not putting it in the right place. So I've just bent the wire over there. I'll pop it down through the hole. Now, before I do that, actually, I'll get my little pen and just clean the rail. So this is just a little wire brush pen. And what I'm just going to do is just rub it along where the rail is on the side, just to clean it off so it gets a good connection. And obviously you're soldering on the outside of the rail, because obviously the inside is where the flange is. You don't want to do that, because then you'll have all sorts of derailments. And then this wire will be hidden by ballast anyway. And try and do this so you don't melt the sleepers, which is easier said than done. So that's that. And now the black one. Hold that. Here we are. And that's the droppers in. And obviously when I flip the board over, we're doing all the wiring. All the other connections will be done on the other side. Was it Mark's Models that was doing it? Yozer, good evening. There is problems with the chat tonight, so you have to refresh. Everyone's having problems saying they can't see the chat and everything, but there are people in the chat. But if you're on a browser, refresh your browser or refresh your YouTube app. Make sure it's the most up-to-date version. Seems to be a lot of problems today with the chat. So there are people in here. I'm like, Billy, no mates, no one is here. Well, everyone is here. Simon's just said he's tried to restart his laptop, hasn't made any difference. And Flymo says it's like it's throttling everyone's comments. Well, I have nothing set on my comments. I don't have slow comments or anything set, so it's not that. On the monitor tonight, as I turn around, and it looks like it must be going through a tunnel because I just thought it was blank. But again, it's cab views. It's the same playlist that I picked up. If you put in cab views UK, the playlist that comes up the top, that's the one. And there's various ones that are in there. I can go and have a look at the screen and see which one we're watching at the moment. This is London's King Cross to Hull. The user is Don Coffrey. That's DonCoffey. If you want to put a link up to his channel there, Flymo, if you can. He's must be a train driver, obviously, and he's got quite a few of these. Yeah, because this one and the next one, which will be popping up, is Manchester Oxford Road to York. That's also one of his. So yeah, share the love, give him a sub. No matter what, I'm not here. Yeah, Hornby Engine Shed. That's I don't know where I picked that, but I think I got that in a job lot of bits and pieces I bought. Yeah, Don's cab rides are good. Yeah. Toddy Todd, good evening. You're very welcome on your first visit. What I was cleaning the soldering iron in, this is it's basically a little brass. Yeah, it's brass wire. It's like a wire, what do you call it? Wire brush. It's just in a little tub. And you, after you use it, you just put a few times, and it just cleans the tip off, keeps the tip nice and clean for you. Yeah, name escapes me. Someone in the chat will put it up, what it's called. Craig, New Durham Junction. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Yeah, Toddy Todd, if you got any questions like that, just work away. But that's just basically like brass wool. That's the word I'm looking for. In a little tub. I think you get it on eBay for £2 or £3. I think I picked this one up. Well, got it as a present from the daughter. A lot of these come with a sponge. You put in there a wet sponge for cleaning it off. I'm sure someone will tell me which is better. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap the end of the rail there just to push it down so it makes a good joint. Make sure it doesn't kink. It's not the recommended way to do it, but if it works. Tip cleaner, they're like a scouring pad, yeah. Uncoffer is a brilliant cavalry channel. All profits go to charity from a channel. Oh, very good. So you can say all profits from my channel goes to a charity because the Donegal Railway Heritage Centre is a registered charity. And I think this channel has raised something like, since it's been going, about 1,300 sterling, which has all been spent in the centre on various bits and pieces, on the layouts and everything like that. So that's come from my channel members and patrons, which I'm very much appreciative of. And like Simon has done there, thanks very much. Super chats and things like that, and super thanks. All that money helps. Thanks very much for that, Simon. Borrow the hammer to help fix YouTube. Yeah, so all the ad revenue and memberships and patrons and everything like that, it all goes to help with the work I do at the Donegal Railway Heritage Centre. So it's all very much appreciated. I need to do an actual update from there so you can see what I've done. So obviously a lot of the money was spent on when we moved the layouts around, building new baseboards and putting new track and stuff in, and work on the pedigo layout, putting that in, buying track and bits and pieces. So thank you very much for everybody who watches and contributes. It's very much appreciated. It takes 2 attempts to post a message, even as a mod. All right, guys, look, if it's that much trouble, don't worry about commenting in the chat tonight if it's causing that much hassle. I don't want you guys to be getting frustrated or whatever. I'm just going to carry on working away here, gabbing on. What I will be using in a minute is my jig I got from 3D Scenic. 3D Scenic, or is it Scenic 3D? Oh, I can't remember. And it's really handy for installing the seat motors. Really takes the guesswork out of it and the fiddling around. All right, let's see if I got some more. I had a meatball pasta bake before I started this evening. For some reason, whenever I start doing this, I get really hungry. Last year, Don gave over 10K to Samaritans. Wow. Your resolution is 360. It does go out in 720, and I'm having nothing here to tell me that it's not going out. Usually I get a warning and everything. As far as my end, it's going out 720. It should be going out quite well because I do have full fiber here, so I've got like a full gig connection, and I'm actually the only one in the house this evening. Everyone else is out, so it's only me using the connection. Ernville, good evening. Yes, I'm going to be doing some 009 on here. But basically, I'm doing all the 00 track work first. And then I'm going to see how I'm going to incorporate the 009 into it. It's going to be a loop going all the way around. It's probably just going to be a DC loop for the 009. Because I don't fancy fitting a chip into those tiny little rail cars I'm getting for the Donegal stuff. I would just break something. So I thought, you know what, leave it DC. At least Brian from Finnington Junction will be happy that I've got some DC stuff and not all DCC. Maybe don't post. Yeah, I did see he wrote massage instead of message, and I was like, ooh. Yeah, so Jerry BVR is giving out massages this evening. All right, so we're going to put, I haven't done the frog wire on this for some reason. Why is that wired up but no frog? So let's put a frog wire on this. This seems strange. And it doesn't look as if there ever was a frog wire. Or did I start working on this and then get distracted and not finish doing the frog wire? Right, okay. So got a point here, electro frog. I need to put a wire on there for the frog. So I'm going to do that now. Once I find my one green frog, what other color would you use? That's my OnlyFans channel. Okay. All right, Jerry. Yeah, well, there'll be expansion joints anyway, Tom, because obviously the rails are going to be cut. They're only going to be at most a 4-foot section. So there will be a gap at either end for it to expand. And you're right, that rare hot day that we get, which at the moment, it's been in single figures in the evening. You know, it's that you're sitting there in the house and it's all right when you're moving around, but then you sit down to watch TV and you're just sitting there going, I'm actually cold. And you're like, it's June. I don't want to put the heating on. And I don't want to light the fire. And you look outside and let me just, I don't know if that's showing up out there, but the rain and you see the trees blowing out there. It is just horrible. Well, I'm showing that there's 33 on the stream at the moment. I didn't see Carl this evening, Joshua. I've seen the size of those HM 7000 chips. I don't think it would fit inside. It's like you're buying your own coffee. It won't let me. It says 36 here. Yeah, as Flymo says, hit the like for me, please. Oh, Clive's repainting one of his Class 47s with a large logo. I do like the large logo. I think it looks really nice. But I do really like the red stripe. I'm still here. Comments may be limited. Oh, that's a shame, Simon. Howard Pomfrey's in. Hi, Howard. How are you doing? Right, back to this. So let's strip this off. Strippers from Lidl. I think they were a tenner. Great job. You can't beat Lidl middle aisle. If you notice, like all the drills are Parkside. I actually wore one of these out, but that was last year when I was doing my attic conversion. And it did get a lot of work and a lot of abuse, so it's no wonder that it burnt out. I must say this soldering iron has made such a difference. Again, thanks to Seamus. He might be watching in the background. He usually watches on the TV, doesn't know what's coming. 3D laser craft. He had one lying left over and he gave it to me. It's fantastic. Oh, thank you very much, Brian. Oh, Boxcar Jerry. Good evening, Jerry. How are you doing, sir? Did you threaten to kick me off for the puns? YouTube's done it for you. The number of chat participants doesn't match the number watching. Well, my chat says 36. And, oh, actually, StreamYard says 36. No, it's gone to 34. So there's no real way of putting this in without melting a little bit of the plastic and getting that lovely burnt plastic smell. So I'm just putting a little bit of solder in there. Take the green wire. Put that in. Hold it in place for a couple of seconds, let it cool. Still waiting for the day when I'm not paying attention and I stab myself in the hand with that. Right, there we go. There's that in place. I'm Brave browser, all right. You're not too bad, Ironville. Antibiotics, well, get well soon, mate. I put burnt fingers in search bar and it brought me here. Is it buffering for everyone? Is it buffering for everyone or just Peter? Because it did start buffering on my phone, but it didn't show buffering on StreamYard. Yeah, buffering. I'm just going to check my connection. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with my connection. I'm just testing on the PC here. It's given me 94, 95 down, which is the max because there's only 100 meg card that's in it. And that's with the other machines pulling stuff down, and it's given me 93, 94 up as well. So it's not speed my end. It's obviously got to be a YouTube issue. And like I have all the laptops in here that are running the cameras and everything, they're all hardwired. So the only thing actually using the Wi-Fi are my two phones. Are you sure the neighbors? Well, the neighbors wouldn't be actually live or close enough to me to be able to connect to my Wi-Fi. Yeah, I agree with what you said there, Clive, about I'm sure it would burn out the tips and all that, rapidly cooling it all the time, that it would damage the tips. Antivirus panics at some safe sites I visit. Yeah, antiviruses can do that. The Try Hard, good evening, very welcome to the stream. So you've been watching, but you're designing your TT120 layout in AnyRail. And Simon still wants to borrow my hammer to fix YouTube. Hi, Express Model N Scale Trains. Hi, how are you doing? How's the new doggo? Never damage your tips. Oh dear. It's great when you're doing a live stream. It takes so much longer to lay a piece of track. Like all I've done, been on for almost an hour, and I've put one piece of flexi track in. So now I'm just going to put this in place. Actually, I need to trim a little bit off the end there because that is slightly longer. So safety glasses. Where's the glasses gone? I always try and put the glasses down in the same place as the Dremel. I suppose I should have been using the safety glasses while I was drilling as well, but find them. Now I just need to trim a fraction off here, so it's going to get noisy. Checked my tip was intact. Glad to hear that, Raymond. Puppy's doing good. Great. That's great to hear. Hi. I've seen the pictures. Looks adorable. Rapid cooling, never a good thing for your tip. Very true, Clive. Very true. Yeah, I think you have to be careful off with the Dremel. Is that the disc doesn't shatter, because they've shattered on me before. I'm sure if you look up some pictures, you'll see them with bits of them embedded in people's safety glasses. So I always try and stand away from it. So you're not, if it does shatter, you're not in line of it coming towards you. Right, so it's in place. Get my pencil out. So one, I can mark where I'm going to drill for the frog wire, drill a hole for the droppers, and then we use this little doohickey here. just move you over so you can see that. So I use seep point motors. They're little solenoid motors for changing the point and switching the priority on the frog. And I came across these. I can't remember whose video I've seen them on or wherever, but I don't know, Flymo, if you can find a link. It's Jeff Redmond's, I think, is it Scenic 3D or 3D Scenics or whatever, does them. And he does them for not just seat point motors, but tortoise and other types of motors as well. And all you do is you put it over, and let's get this over here so you can see a bit better. Can you see? So when you put it over, you line up the center hole here with the hole over the tie bar, and it centers the rails. And then you can just take your pin vise, go through there, and drill it all the way through the baseboard. And that will give you an indication where the screw needs to go on the seat point motor. I'll grab a seat point motor in a minute, and you can see what I'm on about for those of you that don't know. So that marks the holes where it's got to go. And then you go through the center, straight through the center of the tie bar. And you're just marking a hole there to drill the hole for the bar of the solenoid to come up. So let me just see if I can find a solenoid point motor. I think I know there's one sitting out here. So there's a new one out of the packet. You can see it's got the bar there, which tells you trim to length, depending on your baseboard. Here's one that's been wired up. So you can see how when it goes underneath the baseboard, you've got these two holes here. And when you put that through, these holes here line up with the other holes and keep that centered so it's in the right position. There's no real adjustment or anything. Put it through the tie bar, through the center hole, and screw it up, and away you go. It works really, really well. So let's take that away. And of course, where this is going, there is no cross members. I've got lines there where the cross members are. Some of the points are down the other end. I'm going to have to do some cutting underneath to get the point motor in. Yeah. All right, let me just check on the chat a minute because it seemed to whiz up there a minute ago. Oh, Clive's off to sea. All right, take care, Clive. Next show will be Model Rail Crew. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't make it. Hi, Timber Surf. How you doing? No, I was going to try and get over, just do a day flight into Crewe just to go to the show. But my missus and the kids are actually going over to Bristol to see her parents or their grandparents. So I will be here with the young lad. Weather's decent. We're probably going to go camping over that weekend. But yeah, no, I won't be able to make it. I was looking at flights. I thought I could just fly out into Manchester and get a hire car, go and see the show, and then fly back in the evening. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out now because I have to look after the young lad. So the next show I'll be going to that's going to be across the water is going to be Stafford in October. I have my flights and hotel booked for that. Oh, Howard's off as well. All right. Good night, Howard. Oh, so he's already well on the way to training high. That's good. Hi, Digger. How you doing? Oh, you'll be at Stafford on the Sunday. Well, I'll catch up with you then, Simon. Yeah, I was hoping to get over just to support Jason with his show, but unfortunately, I can't make it. Right. Stand by for noisy drilling, guys. So that's a 12 mil hole for the point rod to come through. Oh, Mrs. is back. I hear the door slamming. Another swig of water. So that's a very handy tool. I got one as well for the double slips. And like I got one for a three-way point as well. No, I didn't get that one because I ordered it, but Jeff sent me another one of those. I still have to tell him, but I just, again, one of those things, you put it on the long finger and then you end up never doing it. And but yeah, they're really handy for the seat point motors. Takes a lot of the fiddly adjusting and guesswork out of it. So the way I was doing it before was centering the pin with a piece of polystyrene and then centering the rails. With this, the jig does all that, and it's done. Works really, really well. So putting this in now, insulated fish plates. Another pointed. That sucks. No warning about the Hoover. Ah, there we go, Simon. All right, so just make sure that's lined up again where we want it. Put a pin in. All right, stand by for the hammering. Just remember not to hammer it in too far because you don't want to damage the rails or the switch rails on the point, because then it will never work properly. There's my bolt. You'll notice on these points here, I bought these years ago off eBay. The guy was selling them. There's no springs in any of them, which is why I use the latching seat motor. So there's 3 different types of these seat. There's the one without the switch, then there's the one with the switch, and then there's the one with the switch. And you can see it's got the extra little spring on there. I don't know if that's picking it up. That's a latching one, so it latches in place, so you don't need the spring in the point motor. Right, I think that's all the tracking I'm going to do tonight. Catch up with the chat. Oh, Joshua's off. Take care, Joshua. First show was too warm. Yeah, well, I try not to put the pins in so far that they bend the sleepers. That's why I use this bolt, because it's got a recess on the bottom, so you can get it in and it doesn't go in too far to bend the sleepers. I don't think any of them are actually bent. Yeah, and this is all going to be ballasted anyway, so I could, in theory, at the end, once it's all ballasted, just go and take the pins back out again, because the ballast and the glue will hold the track in place. And I'm a bit impatient as well to come to glue, because I mean, I'd put it down with glue, I would have to leave it to dry. It's my impatience really that stops me from using glue. Oh, dentist on Tuesday. Did you have to get any work done, Flymo, or was it just a checkup? I think still running around there, yeah. Oh, let's have another swig. Yeah, travel lodges are usually quite good for staying in, but recently they have been quite pricey for some places. But I think it's a travel lodge I'm staying in Stepfold. I got it quite cheap, about 40 quid a night, I think it was. I don't use screws and pins, too much hammer. Well, each their own. I mean, it's your railway, do what you want. I would just find screws too fiddly. I just find pins are quick, easy. And as I say, once I ballast it and glue it in, I can go and take the pins back out again, because the ballast and the glue will be holding it in then. Oh, Graham's back. Everyone stop talking about him now. Oh, refit for a new denture. All right. Okay, Jerry, take care, mate. I'll catch you again. It's not the one in Tamworth, because there's actually a couple. Because I think the one in Tamworth was for the Sunday night, it was like 40, 45 quid. But for the Friday and Saturday night, it was like 120 quid or something like that a night. Oh, you're saving for a US tour in October. Very nice. How far are you going to be touring in the US, Leslie? The Colorado Heritage Lines and a couple of air museums. Oh, nice. Something I'd love to do is like take a couple of months and just drive across America from like New York to LA or something. There's a couple of YouTubers I watch who do that. They sort of go into different states, and instead of staying on the freeway, they take like the minor roads and go from town to town and stays away from the big cities and towns, and that goes to the smaller towns that might be just one street or that. And they're just full of such interesting stuff, like the Americano stuff, as they call it. I've been to America 3 times, and that was all 3 times were Florida. And I remember, because nobody in America walks anywhere, because, well, in Florida it's too damn hot to walk anywhere. I decided I would walk down to the local shop. It's about a 15-minute walk. And of course, there was a railway line crossing, which is why I decided to walk so I could have a look at the railway line. And as I got there, the barriers came down and a freight train came along. I was stood there going, wow, this is great, looking at this. And then I was like, stood there for like 15 minutes waiting for this train to go past in the baking sun in Florida. I was like, this was a bad idea. If I notice an uplift in live stream views, I've noticed that unusually for this time of year, I'm getting more subscribers than usual, which translates then I'm getting more people into the live streams and a lot of people watching the live streams on replay. Oh, Maura's off. Take care, Maura. Yeah, because usually from about March, April time, the subscriber numbers just drop off completely. And then it starts coming back then September, October time, with like December usually being the highest month. But this year it's been quite good. Now I have been changed a few things on my channels. You would have seen that I've been changing the thumbnails, changing slightly the ways I do the videos, and I use YouTube Buddy. I don't know if you guys have ever come across that, and it's got a generator for titles now. So I've been using that to help me generate the titles, and I try and stay away from the really clickbaity ones because they just annoy me, but although they do seem to work. And I think all those little things, like it's not one little thing that's the magic bullet for YouTube, it's all these little things that you make changes to see how it works. Oh, hi's off too. Take care. I'll catch you again. It's not exactly barbecue season out there. I'm waiting for the weather to improve so I can do a barbecue cooking thing for my cooking channel. And I got a barbecue there the other week. They were in Lidl because my old one had just rusted away to nothing. And we just haven't had the weather. Like if it is, we had a day there where it was dry, but it was way too windy to light a barbecue. Yeah, Tube Buddy. It's one of those things that helps you with, gives you idea, helps you, there's things in there to help you make thumbnails, to generate titles. It depends which level you go for. Keywords and all that sort of thing. I find it quite useful. There should be a link to it in my down below to TubeBuddy. Because if you use that link, it's an affiliate link. I get some money if you sign up to it and start using it, because it is a paid for service. There is a free version, as always, which gives you very basic stuff, and then there's the paid version. It's a bit like vidIQ. If anyone's used vidIQ, that's the same sort of thing. Yeah, they do seem to be quite relevant, Leslie, because you put in your title that you want, and then you hit generate title, and then it gives you an option of about 7 to 10 that you can choose from. As I say, I try to stay away from the clickbaity ones like "you will be shocked at this model railway," that sort of one. Yeah, I've seen that, the test and compare for the thumbnails. So you put that up, and I think it tests it for 3 weeks, and then whichever thumbnail is the best, it then defaults that one to the thumbnail unless you change it. Yeah, TubeBuddy. What did I say? Did I say something different? It's part of Skynet. Yeah, I haven't got the test to compare yet. After 3 weeks, when we get. Cameraman down. Which camera is that? Why has that gone down? Oh, now it's gone green. Let's have a look and see why that camera's gone down. It might be. See, it says it's still working. It quite obviously has frozen. Sorry, guys, I'm just looking to see why this has done it. It's saying the device is not connected. But it is. Do you know what? I've only got 10 minutes left. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll have to do for the 3 cameras for now. Yeah, TubeBuddy, that's it there, Flybo. Skynet retaliates, 1 camera down. YouTube is weird. Yes, YouTube is weird. And you'll do something that will work, and then something will change, and then it won't work. But I'm never going to get rich off YouTube. I'm never going to be a Mr. Beast. Hasta la vista, baby. Terminated. Yes, indeed. I started the cooking channel just as a really to help my kids out because they're at college and they're always asking me how to do stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'll make a couple of YouTube video, and for a cooking video, it doesn't actually take that long to make. And with the cooking videos, I can easily make 2 or 3 videos in a session when you're making something. And it's like I've got videos for that queued up until the middle of July. Whereas doing the model railways, that's a lot more time consuming because I have to cook anyway. So I might as well film it when I'm doing it. Whereas the model railways is more of a pleasure thing that I have to do when I find time. See, now my chat has frozen. Was your channel's birthday today, is it, Graham? Oh, Eunan's in the house. How you doing, Eunan? That's the Growler Blackwood end gauge. Okay, Brian, take care, mate. I'll catch you next week. Oh, yeah, there's the link to my cooking channel. I know some of you have subscribed. Thanks very much. Just want to get to that magical 1,000 subs and the 4,000 watch hours, because then after that, it's just all about views for making money off it. You know, I might make enough money off it once a month to buy a loaf of bread or something. Yes, you're spatching. Oh, dear God. Simon. Yeah, a video went out today to my channel members. And that's the video that'll be out tomorrow, which is on track and track planning. I actually mentioned you in that, Graham, because I used the track plan you made for me in that video as a demonstration. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a day at 9 o'clock, which is about 7 minutes time. So if you've got any questions or anything, get them into the chat now. Oh yeah, there's my other channel, Donegal Dad Out and About. I actually changed that name on it to Donegal Dad Days Out because I thought that sounded better. But that's a channel I'm messing around with. I've only got 4 videos up on it because it's a lot different content to the model railways and the cooking, which is how-tos. It's more of showing different places, so it's a lot different, and the editing on it takes a lot longer. So it's actually taking me longer to do that. But again, it's something I'm experimenting with, just trying to learn some new skills. Union's been busy building scale scene kits, so not been tuning in over the last month or so. Currently working on concrete style road bridge. Oh, very good. Yeah, I haven't seen any videos from you recently. Have you put anything up? Have I been unsubscribed from you? It's fun having another different channel. It is. As I say, the cooking one's easy to do because I have to cook every day anyway, so I might as well just film it. But the days out one, where I go to different places with the kids and what have you, that takes a lot more editing and script writing and everything for it. So you can't really do it off the cuff. But hey, again, I'm going out somewhere with the kids, film it, and then when I have time to edit it, because I've got 3 lots of footage for 3 videos for that channel, but I just don't have the time to edit it at the moment. Oh, you put a video out just a couple of weeks ago. Well, I must have seen it. Like my other one, hint. What is your other channel, Tom? Many on my channel using format. The pin badges that we got. There's a company in Derry that does them. I can't remember what they're called now. Oh, I can look it up and let you know. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's where we get them done. They charge about 50 quid for the artwork to do that, and then depending on the size of the pin and how many you want is the per unit price. Tomorrow's video will be out at 4:45, because that's the other thing I've been messing around with is release times of the videos as well. YouTube has recommended that I release them at 5 o'clock. So you release them at 4:45, so the notifications go out to people who've got notifications on. So it's there at 5 o'clock. Yeah, the whole thing of getting notifications, Ewan, it works sometimes, it works other times. Like when I go live, I get a notification maybe halfway through the live saying, oh, you're live. Oh, really? Am I? Oh, thanks for telling me. Right, Tom, you're now a moderator, so you can post the link. Yeah, 4:45. That's what time it's out at. Yeah, some people take off the notify subscribers button on YouTube Studio and attempt to get more views. Really? All right, Peter. He says a great stream when it worked. Take care, Peter. Yeah, I've been sticking obviously to my lives. I've been 7:30 on Thursdays for years now, because that's when you guys know I'm going to be live. And there seems to be a general consensus between all of us who do lives on YouTube. We're sort of aware of each other and we try not to step on each other's toes. But, you know, I'm not worried if someone goes live the same time as me. It's, you know, it's the internet, do what you want. You know, I'm not, you know, because I have been known to maybe watch 2 or 3 lives at the same time, one on the phone, one on the computer, and one on the TV. And just make sure you're commenting in the right chat. Give it a watch while you're on the bus. Fair enough. Get everyone on the bus to subscribe as well, Simon. Yeah, YouTube isn't really worried about the subs. The only time subs come into it is to get up to 1,000 so you can be monetized. After that, it's all about views. And I'm sure you guys will know from your recommended that comes up. If you watch channels that you're not necessary to subscribe to, when they have a new video out, it will appear in your feed. And even some of the YouTube experts say now people aren't subscribing because the algorithm's that good, knows what you're watching, that it'll just pop it up in front of you. Because there's a few channels that I watch that I must admit I'm not subscribed to, but I watch their stuff, and every time there's a video, it's there in my recommended. And you also got to remember about the algorithm is it's not about you, the creator, it's about you, the viewer. That's how how it works. It's been an interesting stream this evening, but still enjoyable. Well, I didn't burn my fingers. I didn't hammer my fingers, so I'm happy with that. Just turn off the soldering iron while I think of it. Yeah, Flymo, we always imagine that you're just in this big control room surrounded by screens and keyboards and just sat there monitoring all these live streams, just as the super moderator that you are. Yeah, exactly. When you talk about the algorithm, you should change it to audience, because that's what it is. The algorithm is finding content for people to watch, because that's what they want. They want eyes on YouTube so you can watch the ads. Because YouTube wants to keep you on their platform so they can keep putting the ads in front of you. So it's turned into a discussion on YouTube now. Anyway, it's gone 9 o'clock. I'm going to say good night now. Good night, New Model Railway, and good night, everyone. Flymo is Skynet. Right, take care, everyone. So the video's out tomorrow on, it's a basic one on track and a bit on track planning. Thanks for tuning in this evening, guys. It's great having these Thursday evenings with you guys to sit down and have a chat and watch me try to damage myself. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the super chats that came in tonight, guys, as well. Very much appreciated. So take care, everyone, and I will catch you all next week back at 7:30. Bye.